Okay. Show you one more, and then you do another one by yourself at home, not here. Okay. Okay. So let's see the question. A company report item on accrual basis throughout the year and convert to cash basis for year-end reporting. Its accrual basis net income for the year is $71,200. The company has gathered the following comparative balance sheet information. So you are given information about the beginning and the ending balance for the five accounts. Okay, so if now we have to convert from accrual to cash, right?
Yeah.
From accrual to cash. Okay. Then should I use this one? Okay. From accrual to cash. Okay. From accrual to cash. Okay. So the starting item will be accrual. Will be the accrual amount. So how much is the accrual amount? 71,200. Okay. And the first item, accounts payable, yeah, it's decreased by 2,000. Okay, decreased by 2,000. Accounts payable is a liability. The sign for liability is positive. So positive, negative becomes negative. The second item, unearned revenue, I put UR. Yeah. And it's increased, so positive 200. Increased by 200, so we put positive 200. Yeah. And it's also a liability, right? The sign for liability is positive. So positive, positive, also positive. Okay? And the third item is wages payable. Wages payable is increased by 100. So we put positive 100. Isn't it a liability account? Wages payable is a liability account, right? Mm-hmm. So liability, the sign is positive. Positive, positive becomes positive. So we put WP, wages payable. And prepaid rent. Yeah. Prepaid rent, it goes from 1,200 to 1,500, so it's increased. So we put positive 300. And prepaid rent is an asset. Yeah. The sign for asset is negative. So negative, positive becomes negative. So we put prepaid rent, I put PR, it's negative 300. Okay? And the last one is accounts receivable. Yeah. It goes from 1,400 to 600, so we have a decrease. So it's negative. Decrease means negative. Okay? So negative 800. And AR is an asset. The sign for asset is negative. So negative, negative becomes positive. Then we are done, right? You just need to do some calculation. So do we get 70,000? 70. Yeah. Get 70. Okay. So this is the cash amount. Okay. This is the cash amount, and this is the accrual amount. This is accrual amount. Okay. See? 70. Question? No, that. And the next one, you can do it by yourself. Okay? It's the same.
Excuse me, is this information on your online information?
Okay. Any question? No? For the previous two I show you? If no, then this is a T account question. Okay? The second type of question I show you. Let's do this one. Okay? Ray Partners Ltd., which began operations on January 1st, 2003, has elected to use cash basis accounting for tax purpose and accrual basis accounting for financial statement. Ray reported sales of $175,000 and $80,000 in tax return for the year ended December 31st, 2004 and 2003. Ray reported accounts receivable of $30,000 and $50,000 in balance sheet, okay, as of also the 2 years, the same, 2004 and 2003. What amount should Ray report as sales in his income statement for the year ended December 31st, 2004? Okay, the question gives you, okay, it says the company has elected to use cash basis accounting. Remember I indicated earlier that when we file income tax return, we usually use cash basis. when we prepare financial statement, we are required to use accrual. Okay, so here is the case. Okay, cash basis for tax return, accrual basis for financial statement. So now the question gives you the cash amount, the sales amount, okay, and the sales the tax return amount. Okay, if it says the company reported sales of this amount and this amount in tax return. If these are the amount that appear on tax return, which means it's cash amount. Okay, so you are given cash amount. And the question also give you the accounts receivable balance. Okay, for the beginning and ending. We see December 31st, 2003 balance as beginning. We see December 31st, 2004 balance as ending. Okay, and now you are required to compute the sales amount that's reported on income statement. So this will be an accrual amount, right? Income statement is a financial statement, and we use accrual basis to prepare financial statement. So if the question asks you to compute the sales in the income statement, which means you are required to compute what amount? Accrual amount. Okay. So you are given information about accounts receivable, which is an accrued asset. You are also given a cash sales, and then you are required to compute accrual sales. Okay, accrued sales. Okay, so how to do this? Can I erase this? Okay. Where should we start? Where should we start?
The sales,
Okay, accounts receivable. Okay, let's start accounts receivable. Okay. Accounts receivable, the beginning balance is 30,000, right? So we put 30,000 in the left side. And the ending balance is, the beginning is how much? 50,000. So we put 50,000 in the left side. The ending balance is 30,000. Yeah, we also put it in the debit side. And what else? Sales. Okay. If the cash sales for 2003 is 80,000, does that mean we collect cash for 80,000?
No.
Cash. We have cash sales in 2003 for 80,000, right? And we have cash sales of 175,000 for 2004. Okay, give me 1 second. Yeah. See? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you in 2004 the cash collection, okay? Because tax return report cash sale, okay? So if the sales amount which shows 2004 tax return is 175,000, now which means the cash collection amount is 175,000, okay? And which side do we show the cash collection amount?
Hold on. So I'm sorry. So that's 2003?
That's for 2003. That's for 2004.
Okay, so the T accounts
Beginning is 80,000.
Beginning.
No, sorry.
No. The cash sales for 2003 is 80,000. For 2004 is 175,000. Why do we use 2004? Because the question asks you to compute the accrual sales amount. The sales amount that appears on income statement for 2004, which means accrual amount for 2004, right? So here we have to use cash sales amount for 2004, which is 175, okay? And the cash collection, appears in which side? The credit side. So we put 175,000 here, okay? And for the 2000, so we don't know if the question asks you to compute the accrued sales means revenue, right? Accrued sales means revenue. So we don't know how much revenue, how much accrued revenue, how much revenue should be accrued and recorded for 2004. Okay? So we put this in the debit side. Okay? And we assume this as X. Okay? So do you apply the same concept? Yes. This is actually the second type of question. The second type of question. Okay? You use T account. Okay? Okay, so whatever balance shown in debit side is positive. Whatever balance shown in credit side is negative. Okay? So we have 50,000 plus X minus 175,000 equals 30,000. So you just need to solve the equation to get X. So how much is that? 30,000 plus 175,000 minus 50,000. So do we have 155? Okay, so 155 refers to what? Accrued revenue. Okay? Accrued revenue amount that's reported on the 2004 income statement. So if you don't know how to start with that, you just need to draw a T account and then put the AR. Okay, because you are given information about AR. Okay, and then you, based on the information given, you enter the beginning, you enter the ending. Okay, the question asks you to solve to compute the accrued amount for 2004. Okay, so you will need to apply the cash amount also for 2004, not for 2003. Okay, and for 2004, how do you know how much is the cash amount? Because this is the amount that's reported on tax return. And tax return use cash basis. Okay? So this amount indicates the cash amount. Cash amount. So which means we collect this amount for cash. Okay? For cash. We have cash sale for this much. And cash collection should be put in the credit side. And revenue. Okay, we like to know how much revenue is earned, accrued and earned. So we put revenue in the debit.
And wasn't it supposed to be credit positive?
Credit positive. No, account receivable is asset. Right? Asset. And the normal side of asset is debit. Okay? So beginning balance is debit, any balance is debit, whatever amount in the debit side is positive. Okay? And the amount shown in credit side is negative. Okay? So positive, 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 okay? And negative. Got it? Yeah. And this one is also complicated. Okay? I show you this one, and then you can practice the other two. Okay? Yeah. Young and Jamison's modified cash basis financial statement indicate cash paid for operating expense of 150,000, end of year prepaid expense of 15,000, and accrued liability of 25,000. Okay. Accrued liability means accounts payable. Okay. At the beginning of the year, Young and Jamison had prepaid expense of 10,000, while accrued liability were 5,000. If cash paid for operating expense is converted to accrual basis operating expense, what will be the amount of operating expense? Okay. You use T account. Okay. First, we have to write down the T account based on the information given by the question. Okay. And what does it say? It says end of year prepaid is 15,000, right? Okay. End of year prepaid. Okay. So ending balance. End of year prepaid. Okay, let's start with the first one. Cash paid for operate. We have two accounts. Okay, one is accrued liability. You can assume is accounts payable. Okay. And accounts payable. What did I say about accounts payable?
5.
Okay. For the cash pay, it should be shown in the debit side. Okay. And if for the prepaid account, this is prepaid account. Should we also show cash payment in the debit side? Yes. Okay. So if the question indicate the company pay cash for operating expense of 150,000, this 150,000 includes payment for accounts payable and the payment for prepaid expense. Okay. And how do I know among the 150,000 how much is paid for accounts payable? How much is paid for prepaid expense? I don't know, right? Can I make assumption? Yes. Okay. Can I assume 75,000 here, 75,000 there? Yes. Can I assume 80,000 here, 70,000 there? Yes. Can I assume 10,000 here, 5,000 there? Yes. Doesn't matter. Okay. You can make whatever assumption as long as the sum of the two assumptions equals 150,000. Got it? Okay. So here we can just average it. Okay. So we assume that cash pay here is 75,000 because cash pay is shown in debit. Okay. And we also assume cash pay for prepaid is 75,000. So it's also shown in debit. Okay. 75,000. Okay. And as I said, that you can change this to 80,000, change this to 70,000. Okay. You can change this to 90,000, change this to 60,000, or you can change this to 10,000, 100,000, and change this to 50,000. Okay. Whatever you can do whatever as long as you make sure the sum of the two gets 150,000. Okay. The sum has to be 150,000. And then it says end of year prepaid 15,000. End of year prepaid expense of 15,000. Okay, so ending balance of prepaid is 15,000, right? Okay, ending balance for prepaid is 15,000. So where to put the 50,000? Prepaid, prepaid, ending. In the debit side, right? In the debit side for how much? 15,000. And it also says accrued liability for ending is how much? Accrued liability means accounts payable. Okay? Accounts payable and the ending balance is 25,000. So should we put this in credit? Okay? Beginning, ending here, right? So ending is in credit for 25. Is it 25?
Yeah.
Yes. And then it says the company has prepaid expense at the beginning of the year. Yeah. Prepaid expense balance is 10,000. Accounts payable is 5,000. So under the prepaid account, we put 5,000 in which side? It's asset.
Prepaid expense of 10,000.
Prepaid, right? Prepaid expense is a
Yeah, it
asset.
should be 10,000.
Or 10,000? Or 10,000, okay. Is it 10,000? Yes, okay. 10,000. And accounts payable, the beginning balance is 5,000, so we put 5,000 here. And the question asks you, if cash pay for operating expense is converted to accrual, what will be the amount of operating expense? The amount of operating expense is an accrued expense, right? It's an accrued expense. In other words, the question is asking you how much expense was incurred. Okay? How much expense was incurred and recorded on the book. Okay? How much expense was incurred and recorded on the book. See here, expense incurred. We don't know how much, right? Can we assume it as X? Okay? And here, expense incurred, okay, is in credit. We don't know how much. Can I assume it as Y? Okay? So you are given this, beginning, ending, and cash pay. You are given beginning, ending, and a cash pay. Okay? And as I said, the question doesn't provide you with detail about how much cash was paid for accounts payable, how much cash was paid for prepaid expense. It only says the total cash pay for operating expense is 150,000. So do we have to separate 150,000 into two amounts? Yes. But I say whatever, you can assume whatever amount. You average it, 75, 75. Or you put 80,000 here, 70,000 here, 90,000 here, 60,000 here, 100,000 here, 50,000 here. even though you like to put 140,000 here and 10,000 here, can you do so? Yes. As long as the sum of the two amount becomes how much? 150. Because if the question give you detail about how much cash was paid for accounts payable, how much cash was paid for prepaid expense, then you can write down the amount based on the information given. But if it only says 150,000, again you have to do assumption. Okay, you do assumption. But no matter which assumption you make, will you come up with the same answer? Yes, the answer will be the same. I can show you later. We can prove it. Okay, so here, prepaid expense is asset. So whatever amount shown in debit is positive. So we have 10,000. Okay, we have 10,000 plus 75,000 minus y equals 15. So how much is y? We will move this to the right side and move this to the debit side. So is it 70,000? Okay, let me write. Let me write down everything. It's so that it's clear for you. We move this to the right side and we move this to the left side. So it becomes 10,000 plus 75,000 minus 15,000. So do we have 70,000?
Yes.
Yes. So y means 70,000. So we put 70,000 here. That's the expense incurred. And here, accounts payable is a liability account. The normal side is in credit side. So whatever amount shown in credit is positive. Whatever amount shown in debit is negative. So we have 5,000 plus x minus 75,000 equals 25,000. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And to solve x, we move these two amounts to the other side. So it becomes 25,000 plus 75,000 minus 5,000. So do we have 95? Do we have 95,000? 45? No? Okay, 25,000 remains. 75,000, the sign becomes positive. 5,000, the sign becomes negative. So if you add these two, we have 100,000. 100,000 minus 5,000, is that 95? Right. Yeah, so it's 95. And this is accrue. This is incurred expense. Yeah. This is also incurred expense. Incurred means accrue. Right? Then, what should I answer? How much should I answer? Do I have to add this to this?
Yes.
Yes. Because both are accrued expense. If the question asks you how much is the accrued expense for prepay, how much is accrued expense for accounts payable, then you separate it. But if it asks you total accrued expense, then you add it, right? You add it. So the answer is 165. 165. And I just indicated that I said we can make assumption, right? We can make assumption. So how much do you like to change this to? Can we change it to 90,000? Can we? Yes. And if we change this to 90,000, then we should change this to how much? Because the sum of two has to be equal to 150. So if we change this to 70,000, this has to become 60, right? 60. 90,000 plus 60,000, is that equal to 150? Yes. Okay. So if we change this to 90, this becomes 60. Yeah. And then we have to redo the calculation. 10,000 plus 90,000 minus y equals 15,000. So y equals 10,000 plus 90,000 minus 15,000. So how much do we get? 85,000? Right? 85,000. Okay, so this is 85,000. And then we change this to 60,000, so we have to do calculation. We do the calculation. Okay, 5,000 plus x minus 60,000 equals 25,000. And X equals 25,000 plus 60,000 minus 5,000. So X, how much is X? Is that 80,000? 85 minus 5,000, 80,000. Okay? So now we have 85 plus 80. How much is that? Isn't it still 165? So no matter what kind of assumption you make for here and here, as long as the sum of the two is 150,000, then would you come up with the same answer? Yes. Got it? Okay, so this one is more complicated than the previous one. Yeah. So it could be tested as a simulation question. Yeah. Okay. And that one is much easier. I believe you can do it at home. Okay, practice it at home. And okay, just practice this one at home. Okay. And so it's this one is a concept question. No, it's a multiple choice question. It tests you the similar concept, but the question is given in the multiple choice format. Several companies had 100,000 in cash basis pre-tax income. During the year, accounts receivable had increased by 10,000 and accounts payable had decreased by 6,000 from the prior year balance. Compared to accrual basis method of accounting, Sever's cash pre-tax income is either higher or lower by accrual basis account for how much? Okay. Cash. Because the question originally used the cash basis amount, okay? And now the question asks you to compare cash income with the accrual income. So before you are able to compare, do you have to convert it to accrual amount first? Yes, okay? And how to convert it to accrual amount? To convert it to accrual amount, should we move these two items to the left side of the equation and then put the accrual in the right side? Yes, okay? So cash amount is 100,000. This is the starting item. And it says accounts receivable increased by 10,000. Accounts receivable increase, so it's positive. And accounts receivable is an asset. The sign for asset is positive. Positive becomes positive. Accounts payable is decreased by 6,000. Yeah. Decrease, so negative. And accounts payable is a liability. The sign for liability is negative. Negative becomes positive. So how much? So this is the cash amount. This is the accrual amount. How much? 116. Okay. This is not the answer. The question is asking you compare to the accrual amount. The cash amount is either higher or lower by how much? Okay. So accrual amount is this much. Cash amount is only 100,000. Compared to accrual amount, is cash amount higher or lower?
Lower.
Lower by how much? 16,000. So which answer is correct? D, right? D, lower by 16,000. This one is lower than this one by 16,000. Got it? Yeah. So the answer is D. Okay. And summary. Okay, like for the first type question you use accounting equation. For the second type question you use T account. Okay. And you need more practice. Okay, you need more practice. Yeah. See, there's no substitute for practice. You just need to practice. Okay.